get a response now. Let's bring in Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. Good to talk to you. Hope that you're about to have a very relaxing Labor Day weekend. Ha, ha, ha. Wanted to ask you about this feud that you've got going on with Nikki Haley. She dinged you at the debate, as did many of your other GOP colleagues. But then you fired back at her using her first name and her maiden last name. You even spelled her first name wrong. Now, I expect it wasn't you that actually penned that tweet, but why do that?
Well, look, I think it was a playful jest at the fact that she's been mispronouncing my name for the longest time. It's Vivek, it rhymes with cake. I'd expect someone of Nikki's background to be able to get that right. So I believe in a little bit of banter on the basketball court. We're having fun in this race. But I do think that there is a real distinction, and I think that I am the only candidate who was on that stage who was a non-neocon. I believe in standing for American interests, asserting American interests, but only where it advances the U.S. interest. That's very different from other candidates that would sooner send troops to defend an invasion across somebody else's border than to use troops to defend across the invasion on our own southern border in this country. I worry that many in the neocon establishment are quietly, even if accidentally, marching us into World War III, serious armed conflict with other nuclear powers, including the combination of the Russia-China alliance. I am the only candidate in this race who has pointed out the Russia-China alliance and the threat that it poses, and a clear plan to pull them apart from each other. So yes, everybody agrees that men shouldn't be swimming in women's swimming competitions. I'm glad we all agree on that. But I think when it comes to foreign policy, that's really what distinguishes me from the Karl Rove, Nikki Haley, Mike Pence, Christie wing, and I think that debate is going to be good for our party.
Well, interesting you didn't mention Donald Trump in there. We'll ask you about that in just a second. But here was Nikki Haley. She was on this program just a couple of days ago, and she responded to your campaign misspelling her birth name, where you also called her a liar. Listen.
I'm not going to get involved in these childish name games. It's pretty pathetic. First of all, I was born with Nikki on my birth certificate. I was raised as Nikki. I'm married to Haley, and so that is what my name is. So he can say or misspell or do whatever he wants, but he can't step away from the fact that, look, he's the one that said he was going to abandon Israel. Those were his words. Now he's wanting to walk it back, and the reality is you have to understand the importance of our allies and those relationships. We can never be so narcissistic to think that we don't need friends. I think you can tell a lot about the kind of leader someone will be based on how they run their campaign, and he's doing that all on his own.
Continuing to campaign, raising money for his 2024 presidential bid off of his possible third indictment. But according to a Washington Post review of FEC reports, a lot of the money that Trump has been raising for his campaign is actually going to his legal bills. And Trump opponent Christie tweeting, I quote him, "Grifting is a Trump family tradition, and the latest scam is his campaign. This self-proclaimed billionaire is swindling 50% of his campaign donations to pay for his personal legal fees. We don't need a con artist. We need a leader who can beat Biden." And joining me now is 2024 GOP presidential candidate and, of course, the former governor of New Jersey, Christie. And I also should say, Governor, in the spirit of full transparency, I will note you are my husband's second cousin for anyone interested in our family trees. So let me start off by asking here, off of what you tweeted. Do you believe that Trump supporters would not give money to his campaign if they knew he was using it for his legal fees? Or do you think maybe they're well aware and they're happy with it? They want him to use his money to fight his legal battles.
Well, I don't think they're well aware, Erin, because he's lied to them, as typical for Donald Trump. First, he said 1% of the money they gave would go towards his legal fees. I think most people would say, okay, that's fine. Then he said 10% of the money is going towards his legal fees. Well, here's my problem when it gets to 50% of the money. You really need this billionaire, a guy who says, according to a recent New York Times story, that he's made $1 billion since he left the White House. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what he says. You really need to have people who are donating $10, $20, $50 to your campaign pay for your high-priced lawyers for indictments that you all brought on yourself by paying off a porn star, by holding back classified documents despite the fact that they've been asked for voluntarily for 18 months. I mean, this is ridiculous, and he is using these people in a way that I don't think that they completely know about. And, people set up a legal defense fund, Donald, and if people wanted to give to that, they will. But people are giving to him, Erin, because they think it's going to help him get reelected president when all he's doing is grifting off these people.
Hi, it's Tisha Powell. Welcome to our show. It's now American Journal News, AJ News. We're going from U.S. Business and Wall Street. Folks, go ahead and hit that free like and that free subscribe button. I am Tisha Powell. Thank you, friends, for tuning in. So you just saw two segments, one on CNN with Erin Burnett and Christie, who is running for the 2024 president under the GOP. And then there was one on Fox with Vivek Ramaswamy talking about Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley also is running on the GOP. So there's a lot of GOP people running. Haley, Vivek, Christie, and they're getting PR. But now we just found out, Erin Burnett just confirmed on that segment that her husband is related to Christie. So now we see why Christie is getting some wonderful PR from CNN. I was wondering, why is the GOP getting so much airtime on these liberal channels? But now I see that Christie is like, are you liberal, Christie, or are you conservative? Which one are you? By the way, Christie was very good friends with Donald Trump, but it's my understanding that Trump did not give him a position when Trump ran. So Christie has vengeance against Trump. He used to praise Trump. Now he's not praising Trump anymore. Nikki Haley used to praise Trump as well. Now she's not praising him anymore. And Vivek is still praising Trump because, as you know, President Donald Trump is still in the race. Now, Christie was saying on CNN that Trump is using people's money for his legal bills. If you understand what's going on, people are sending money to Trump. Now, Christie, people can do whatever they want with their money. They want to send it to him, let them send it to him. It's not your money, Christie. I know you're probably jealous that they're not sending you the money, but they can send Donald Trump their money. Because we know it's their money, they get to spend it. And of course, they're feeling bad for President Trump because of these charges. So why would they help him with his legal fees? And then Christie says it's going to go to 50%. Well, lawyers like you, Christie, charge a lot of money. And so that's why President Donald Trump has so much legal bills, because they hire lawyers like you who charge too much money, Christie. So don't act like lawyers aren't going to charge Mr. Trump a lot of money, and he needs to pay for it because he wants to run for office. So what is he supposed to do? Not pay his legal fees? Come on, Christie. That's just common sense. You are going to pay your legal fees. And let's go back to Vivek and Nikki Haley, because guess what? That one of those have a really good shot at being president. Nikki Haley has a shot of being president of the United States, and I'll tell you why. She, first of all, is beating President Biden in the polls right now. So people want a woman president. They're hungry for a woman president. So Nikki Haley's got a good shot at it. That's why she stayed in. But so does Vivek. He's got a shot at it too. So does President Trump. People are concerned about President Joe Biden's age. He is going to be 81. We do see him on a bicycle, but we saw with what happened with Mitch McConnell. He froze up on TV. So people are nervous that President Joe Biden is getting up there in age. So they might be looking for another alternate. The next thing you got to understand as well is Americans do not like the inflation. It's hurting them. Americans hate inflation. If it's one thing we hate about being in America today is the pinch of the inflation. So everybody's hoping that small government comes in and fix that. So that's why people are looking at the GOP. So I tell people, don't underestimate President Trump, don't underestimate Vivek, and don't underestimate Nikki Haley as well. Those three are coming up, and they could probably beat President Biden because people are concerned with Biden's age, and not to mention, people's student loans did not get canceled. Folks, I'm Tisha Powell. Friends, I'm Tisha Powell. Go ahead and hit that free like and that free subscribe button. Yes, you've seen me on Fox News, you've seen me on Newsmax, and yes, I did get 1.2 million views once on Twitter, so yes, I have a familiar face. And I'm just saying, go ahead and hit that free like and that free subscribe button. It helps out a lot. We want to bring you more breaking business news from the United States. We've changed the name of the show to American Journal, AJ News. And check out the tag products today. It is from Neiman Marcus. They are beautiful. When I say they're beautiful, you've got to check it out. This is now the way things are working. People are getting smarter. We are shopping on the internet while we watch television. And folks, I've been telling you this for years. I cannot tell the last time that I went to a retail shop. I love Amazon. I love YouTube. I love TikTok. I love Facebook. I love Google. Ever since Google came in, I have been shopping on the internet. Everything that I wear, it's probably from the internet. So I'm just telling you, the internet shopping online is making our lives a lot easier. Use the internet to get information, brand yourself, and shop. So check out our online store. You can watch the show and shop at the same time. Folks, don't forget to like and subscribe to us. It really helps a lot. It helps us to bring you these shows. I'm Tisha Powell from all of us here at AJTV. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you real soon. You seen Kanye West's new wife?